In this video, I'm going to show you how it is that I'm learning paid ads. I'll actually show you the actual ads that we're running at the agency, and I'll walk you through my thought process on running ads and what it is that I'm learning to date. I want to make this video as a bit of an update because it's been a while since I've posted a video to this channel, and I post these videos for a couple reasons. One is because I think it's cool to document the process and the journey. Two is because I know that I'm going to have a family one day, and I think it'd be cool for my kids to be able to look back on their dad at 25 learning how to run ads and setting the foundations for the generational wealth that our family is going to have because I've learned these skills. So I want to show the process and show the documentation behind it, and just kind of give you a quick update on the agency, what we're doing there. Right now, our client acquisition is entirely through really two channels. It's through Upwork, and then we have a little bit of referral stuff coming through, which is amazing because referrals, the cost to acquire a client, is just what referral bonus we give the agency clients that we're working with. But with Upwork, it's only costing us about like $18 to acquire a client. These clients pay us between $500 and $700 per month, kind of on the average, and the LTV across the agency is around like 7K or so, which is just amazing. Like turning $18 into 7,000 is an unbeatable kind of ROI. The issue with this and why I'm actually looking at doing paid ads is because Upwork works and it's great, but there's only usually a couple jobs per day that meet our quality standard. So you're able to scale to like 10, 15, 20, I've even seen 30K per month just through Upwork Outbound, and that works. And these clients retain really, really well. So these are great clients, but they don't pay quite as well. Like you kind of cap out at an average around 700. We've had clients who pay us a lot more through Upwork, like 1,500 to 3K, but you kind of cap out around 700 or so is your average. And then also there's just not tons and tons of them. So if you want to scale to big numbers, like one of my big goals right now is I want to push this agency to 50K a month. We need to have a more consistent, more reliable lead source and something that's a little bit more automated. So this works, it's great for beginners. I recommend this, but what we're doing is we're actually moving towards paid ads. And again, I'm going to show you the ads that we're running and show you the kind of thought process behind this. The first thing that I had to do, transition to paid ads, is actually decide what kind of niche we're going to choose. And at our agency, we have it niched down. We've kind of gone back and forth between a couple niches, but right now we don't have any one particular niche that we're working with. We just kind of work with anyone who's service specific and needs help with the services that we offer, which is great. And it's really good for Upwork because you kind of have to keep it more open to have consistent lead flow or the volume of leads that you need coming through there. But with ads, for us to be able to correctly target these ads, we needed to choose an avatar to go after. So my thought process here in choosing an avatar for us to niche down on, I've actually used these three criteria here, is I wanted to work with someone who would have a lot to gain by winning on social media, aka someone that already sells online, someone who's already invested in their marketing. So that's not like I'm having to take them from 0 to 100, but rather I'm taking them from like 60 or 70 to 100. I wanted to work with a figurehead brand. That means personal brands, something with a face behind it, like a personal trainer or author, coach, speaker, real estate agent, something where it's like very common that there'd be a face on camera. I like working with these clients because there's a single point of contact, which makes making content for them super easy, which is what we do at the agency, by the way, is we make social media marketing content. So yeah, figurehead brands, those are my favorite kind of clients to work with operationally. And then also I wanted to work with a client that was high enough income to afford 2K per month, because we need to actually go from our average retainer size being like from Upwork, kind of the average like 600-700. We need to now push that number up because we have this new cost of spending money on ads. So I wanted to create an offer that we could charge in and around 2K per month for. I want to work with figurehead brands, and I want to work with companies that have a lot to gain by selling online or already selling online, and this is just kind of a natural next step for them. I came up with these kind of different industries, but ultimately I settled on realtors because I've worked with a ton of realtors in the past, and there also are so many realtors. They're already familiar with marketing. Like a lot of them have gone to seminars and workshops, and they're hearing things about social media marketing all day. So the kind of on-ramp for them to get into the opportunity is really, really easy. It's very, very natural. And that's who we decided we wanted to work with. From there, I wanted to nail down our messaging because what I've learned, I've read a bunch of books on advertising now. I've got a mentor who's helping me out with this. And what I've learned, biggest takeaway with ads, is that ads are just a vehicle. Like it's just a medium to get a message out there. What's actually more important than the vehicle or like the creatives or the targeting, well, maybe not more important, but what's going to run through all of these things is the actual messaging that we're feeding to these people. So I wanted to make sure that I got really clear on what the pain points of realtors are, what kind of things they're interested in. Let me see if I have trying to see if I have it on my Miro board here. Give me one sec. All right, I got it here. So Trey Cockrum is actually the guy who I'm getting this from. He's been teaching this to me. He calls it belief engineering. And what this is, it's about getting your messaging nailed down so that you can take cold traffic to closing leads, because you're speaking their language, you're nailing their pain points, you're validating the beliefs that they already have, and you're showing them a better way. And now that I've learned this, I've seen this in literally every ad that I've seen on social media. And I had to actually like write this out and get clear on like, what is the general consensus? What are the problems that real estate agents are facing? What's a belief that they already have so I can validate that? What's my new mechanism to help them out? And then what is like the vehicle, the format, and then the offer. So the kind of belief engineering that we're using, it's actually not written down here, but I wanted to show you the funnel. What we're doing is we're calling out real estate agents. The old way of getting deals doesn't work anymore. Your clients are never going to spend as much time on Zillow as they do on Instagram and Facebook. So instead, what you need to do is you need to create a local first personal brand that gets you pre-sold buyers directly to your inbox. So what we're doing there is we're calling out the avatar real estate agents. We're validating a belief they already have. In this case here, this is an early iteration. The algorithm has changed, or like the old way of getting listings and deals doesn't work anymore. And then a layer deeper on that is we have this new way. Local first personal brands, one example. I'm still kind of playing around with my unique mechanism here. Here's a couple different examples that we played around with. And then the vehicle is you need to have a local first personal brand that gets you pre-sold leads. So again, just kind of speaking their language, acknowledging their pain points, validating a belief they already have about something being broken or something kind of being a little bit silly as a general consensus, and then having a new way that like kind of already makes sense to them. Again, I'm really trying to work our messaging into something that people already believe. So like showing you that Venn diagram earlier, I didn't want to have to convince anyone that they needed social media. I want to go to people who are already familiar and aware that they have these problems so that it's a really easy on-ramp for them to buy our services. Now, once I nailed down that messaging, I went into creating ads. I'm going to show you my actual ad manager here and show you some of the ads that we're running. Right now I've got 2 ad sets with I think 4 ads each. The only difference between the ad sets is one of these ad sets has a very specific targeting. There's only like 95,000 people in this audience, and then this one here has like 2.1 million people just based on the interest. The ads are really, really simple. These are meant to be Instagram DM ads, so people can just directly DM. And instead of us having to take them through like a customer journey and spend all this money on retargeting stuff, the idea is that we nail the pain points and we nail the language here, and we pique their interest here, have a conversation, get them on a call where we can actually present the offer. So a couple different variations of the ads that I've been running here. Just beginning with the call out, real estate agents. That's how all ads begin that I've seen that are really working, is they just directly begin the piece of content with who they want to see it. This works for organic too, but we're doing this on ads. Real estate agents, stop spending hours making content that doesn't get you clients. Again, validating a pain point, it doesn't even get you clients. DM me this keyword, and these are different keywords by the way, so I can kind of track which ad's performing well here. DM me this keyword and I'll show you how to become the agent in your town. Again, kind of using language or nailing out what their desired outcome is. I know a lot of agents are local first and they want to be the agent in their town. So a couple different examples. Also have like video ads that I've made. I don't know if maybe I'll show you guys this here today, but I've tried out a couple different messaging in here like that. The one that I don't want to say it's winning, because like, to be point blank honest with you guys, I haven't fully cracked this. In fact, I'm not even close to cracking this. I am still such a long way away from getting this to work well for us. But the kind of messaging that I think is most promising is in this video here. Again, begins with the call out, real estate agents. Your clients will never spend as much time on Zillow as they do on Instagram and Facebook. Calling out this belief that they already have. You need to have a strategic social media presence. That's the new way of doing things. More specifically, algorithm hacking, creating content that gets them reach and wins them listings without spending money on ads. And then realtors that are doing this are getting great results. See if you can get the right content in front of the right people. All of this stuff just needs to be really believable. Like, it doesn't need to be a technical system. It needs to be something that like people hear and they're like, I don't even have to think about that. That makes sense. Just hearing the phrase or the language you're using is very, very intuitive. So overall, that's what I've learned with paid ads, and that's what I've been working on for the last month or so inside of the agency. Right now, I think I'm spending like $80 a day on ads, and we'll probably ramp that up once we kind of get validation on the messaging and what format's working best. The advice that I've got from my mentor is just to really take these ads and kind of shotgun approach it. Like just launch a bunch of ads, different targeting, different angles, different like mechanisms and things like that. There's a lot of different moving parts for ads, and for the longest time I've believed that ads aren't for beginners, and I feel like a lot of that's still true. Like I've actually had a really long learning curve on getting into these ads. It's been a major headache for me. Like just the Facebook UI and getting the back end of Facebook set up. I mean, I spent like last night 3 hours trying to get these ads to launch because there was some like weird tech issue. I even hired like a consultant to help me out, and we weren't able to fix it. So like Facebook ads are a headache. I think that they're a really sustainable way to scale. Just my thinking on this is I think this is going to be really fruitful and really lucrative once we crack it. It's been a bit of a process. They're definitely not for beginners, and they're definitely not for someone who can't emotionally detach from spending money. Like if I needed this money, if I needed these ads to work, I know they wouldn't work. Like just, I would be touching them too often, and I wouldn't be able to emotionally disconnect from the data, which is really what I need to do at this point, is like launch a bunch of ads, iterate, find what kind of messaging and what kind of formats work best for us. So yeah, that's me yapping on ads for 11 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.